When I look back on it, I can't believe we did what we did. First of all, we were young and we had a lot of responsibility.
It was like this one happy, somewhat dysfunctional family.
Our counterparts at the National Football League often looked at us and scratched their heads, what are they doing? And I think some of it was envy because they had a very structured environment and ours was a lot less structured.
We were also trying to be creative and develop platforms that allowed us to highlight players. We did a lot. Anything you can think of, NFL Players Radio. We had NFL Players Week on Wheel of Fortune.
All of this was contestants will receive a Players Inc. gift package.
The most ambitious thing we ever tried to do at Players Inc. was the NFL Players Party.
Anybody having a good time tonight?
We have this small group of 20, 25-ish or so staff members trying to pull off a massive 4-day public event, Super Bowl week. And it was absolutely crazy.
I can try to put two fingers in the air like this. Can somebody say peace? Thank y'all, appreciate that.
A lot of the things that we did, didn't necessarily affect the bottom line positively all the time because, how could you? There was just no way to do something like this and actually make money off of it.
We had a restaurant called the NFL Players Grill.
The concept was to make a Shula's steakhouse environment, but to make it like the Hall of Fame. So it's got all of this merchandise that goes with great food. The concept was right on. I think the execution maybe was not.
Getting into the restaurant business, as competitive as it is and as challenging as it is, it would have been a tough thing to be able to pull off.
We had an entire clothing line. I forgot that. There's this leather jacket, and I would call it the coat of many colors. And it was every single color in our logo was on this jacket. But looking back, would a consumer be interested in that? Probably not.
We got into the NASCAR business for a little bit, and we did a partnership with Petty Enterprises, and we actually had the big Players Inc. logo on a car that Kyle Petty drove in NASCAR event.
Perhaps NASCAR was not the promotion that put us over the edge in branding, but it was fun and it was interesting. And what we would try to do was align our players' interests.
I have these copies of NFL Jams and NFL Country, and the concept was we've got players. This is part of take the helmets off the players.
We had, NFL players who wanted to be rappers and singers and country music stars. And so we found artists to partner with them and we produced CDs.
It didn't work. Music was okay, but I still play the NFL Jams every once in a while when people come over.
What I loved was I felt like we made players accessible, and it was a time where people didn't have the access.
It was the best of time for creativity. If you had made everything conform into a box, I'm not sure you would have had those ideas born. Hats off to Players Inc. for the leadership and the players for having that vision and quite frankly the courage to allow a ragtag bunch of kids to go out and try a whole bunch of creative things to really drive and create a whole new marketplace.
Don't get me wrong, it was a ton of stress, but it was exciting and it was challenging.
I look back and I'm just like, how did we do that?